Hello and welcome to Achievers. Here is Ivy Banerjee. Once again, trying to make your bio classes easy and simple. Last class, we have been discussing about ecosystem. We have discussed what is the definition of ecosystem, what are the components of ecosystem, what are abiotic components, what do they, how do they interlink, how they are interlinked in nature, and so on. Just a quick recap on what we have studied in our last class. Ecosystem. What is ecosystem? Ecosystem is a system in which the living and the non-living components they constantly interact with each other, live in harmony in the environment, which consists of the ecosystem. The living part consists of the biotic components, that is all the living plants and animals fall under biotic components. What is a biotic component? All the non-living components like air, water, soil, rainfall, etc. Now these biotic components, based on the food relation only, biotic components can be divided into producers, consumers, decomposers, scavengers. Now who are the producers? Now all green plants, they form the producers. They are the largest in number in our nature. Next coming the consumers, which are depending on the producers for their food. Next coming the decomposers. So all these producers and consumers, and they will be decomposed by the decomposers. Who are the decomposers? All the microorganisms, that is the bacteria and fungi, who help to decompose our dead plants and animals. Also the scavengers also play an important role in this cleaning of the earth. So all these, from the larger organism to a microorganisms, they are all interlinked and they are helping in nature to maintain a ecosystem. Now today we'll be discussing about food chain, food web, energy flow and pyramid of numbers. Now these are very simple things. You have to just understand and have a good picture around you. How is this food? They are passed on from one trophic level to the next trophic level, and how is the relationship building between this food chain. It's a very interesting way how it is happening. As I will go into detail, you will see, based on the food relationship between the organisms, there is a sequential flow from one trophic level or a sequential relationship from one trophic level to the next trophic level. How is this happening? Very simple. The producers. Who are the producers? All green plants. All green plants. They are the producers. These producers, they are manufacturing their own food. This is being consumed by the herbivores. Herbivores. The herbivores, so it can be the sequential transfer, that is from producers to the herbivores. Herbivores are the primary consumers. We can say these herbivores are being consumed by the what? Carnivores. Carnivores. Now sometimes the ink may be a little bit lighter, so you listen to my lecture, it will be understandable to you. Carnivores are the secondary consumers. Secondary consumers. And finally, these secondary consumers are being again consumed by a larger carnivores. Right? So these can be termed as what? Tertiary consumers. Easy? Now, producers are what? All the green plants who are producing us food. These producers are being consumed by the herbivores. They are the primary consumers. goat, deer, cow, these are all the herbivores. These herbivores are again consumed by the carnivores, tiger, lion, so on. They are the secondary consumers. And these secondary consumers are again consumed by larger carnivores. They are the tertiary consumers. So based on the food relation, there is a sequential order from one trophic level to the next trophic level. This is the food chain. This consists of the food chain. Now, in our nature, there are several food chains which are connected together and they form a web. So that forms a food web. That forms a food web. How is this happening? Say, for example, a rat feeding on grains. This rat is being consumed by an eagle, or it may be a snake, or maybe dog. Each of these animals, like eagle or a snake or a dog, it is again consumed by other carnivores. So these are the different food chains. They are connected together and forming a web. This is a food web. Clear? Easy with this web. Food chains is the different transfer of food from one trophic level to the next trophic level. They are following a sequence. These food chains, several food chains are again connected and forming a web. Now, as there is a transfer of food from the producers to the carnivores, what happens? There is a flow of energy. You need food to survive, isn't it? Why do we eat? To get energy. This energy is coming from where? From the sun. Remember I told you in my last class that is sun is providing the solar energy. Now, these producers, what they do, they are, this didn't have to be rubbed, but anyway, you listen to me carefully. The sun is providing the solar energy. This is being consumed by the producers. The producers or the green plants, they are consuming certain energy for their life process. Rest is being stored as food. These producers, when it is being consumed by the herbivores, then what happens? Some of the energy, they are being required for its life process. Next, it is being stored in the body. Then again, it is consumed by the next trophic level, say the carnivores. Again, there is some energy is required for its life process and some is being stored. So in this way, what happens? There is a transfer of energy from one trophic level to the next trophic level. But amazingly, there is only a 10% of this energy which get transferred from the producers to the herbivores and to the next levels. That is why we are always advised to eat green plants more so that we can get more energy directly from the plants. Right? So next time don't deny. If mummy gives you a lot of vegetables to eat, don't ignore that dish and don't just keep it aside. Right? So this is how the energy is flow. Now one more thing. This trophic level, as I am discussing, if you see in the nature, if you want to have a graphical representation, how is this trophic level? What are the actual numbers of the trophic level? If you put in a graphical representation, you will find it is taking a shape of a pyramid. It is taking a shape of a pyramid. What is this pyramid doing here? Or what is this cone doing here? This will give you a very clear picture of the different trophic level which is there in our nature. What is it? The base of the pyramid forms the producers. Means all the green plant, they will come under this base of the pyramid. They will form the base. That means they are the largest number. Then comes the herbivores. Next comes the carnivores and the larger carnivores. So, you will see that these trophic levels, they are forming a certain number in our nature. If the producers are lesser in number, like what happens? Global warming, a lot of times every day almost in our newspapers, in everywhere we are seeing or hearing about this term about global warming. What is this happening? if the producers are lesser in number, this whole ecology will get disturbed. That is what it is happening in today's scenario. So this level or this number is very, very important. So if you remember a pyramid, you can understand what are the actual numbers or what should be the actual numbers of the trophic level in our nature to maintain a good ecosystem. Now, children, there is an interdependence upon different organisms. What is this interdependence between organisms? Now, interdependence between, this pain is horrible, I tell you. Interdependence between organism. What is this different interdependence between organisms? Now, based on there is a continuous interaction between different organisms in nature, right? So based on these different organisms, based on these different interactions, there are, and according to the need for their food, shelter and habit, these interactions can be beneficial, these can be harmful, or it can be neutral. So today in our discussion, we will be studying about only 3 terms. You just have to remember these 3 terms. Can you see? Symbiosis, next we'll be learning about parasitism, third is the predation. So we'll be restricting our discussion on these 3 terms: symbiosis, parasitism and predation. So what is symbiosis? When 2 organisms live together and benefit from each other, that is known as symbiosis. What is parasitism? Parasites, as you can understand from the word, it will live on the host and derive its nutrition from its host, but in turn it will not give anything. So it will weaken the host or it may kill the host. Parasites can live on the organism or it can live in the organism. Both ways it can survive for its survival only. These are the selfish guys, right? And last is the predation. Predators thriving on weaker animals for their survival. So these 3 terms will be restricting our discussion. Now symbiosis, as I told, there is a mutual beneficial benefits from between 2 organisms. A very good example is this, like the fungi and a conifer tree. A fungi and a conifer tree, what it happens, now the fungi which is living in the conifer tree provides shelter to the fungi and it provides nutrition to the fungi. Fungi in turn, what it does, it helps these conifer trees to derive nutrition and water from the soil. Another very good example is a bacterium, Rhizobium. This bacteria, Rhizobium, living in the legumes, leguminous plants. What are leguminous plants? Plants having pods. Simple. This bacteria, Rhizobium, why is this Rhizobium so very important? Rhizobium does a very good job. It absorbs nitrogen from the atmosphere. And what it does, it helps these nitrogen, it helps to absorb nitrogen from the atmosphere and helps this legumes and helps this plant to convert this nitrogen into protein or amino acid, right? So how this happening, a very quick way, I'll just explain to you. This nitrogen from the atmosphere This cannot be consumed by the plant. So what it happens, this nitrogen is being converted into ammonia first. This ammonia again, it is being converted into ammonium ion. Now there are certain oxidation process taking place from where? From the water, the hydrogen ions are being reacting with this nitrogen and forming these different stages. This ammonium is being converted into amino acids. These amino acids are nothing but proteins. These proteins are stored in the leguminous plants, either in the pod or in the seeds, and that is why all leguminous plants, that is the lentils, the peas, the soybeans, these are all forming these leguminous plants which are highest in in plant protein. These are leguminous, all leguminous plants are rich in plant protein. So this rhizobium bacteria doing this master job. And what is this legumes doing in turn to the bacteria? Legumes are helping this bacteria to by providing it water and nutrients to the bacteria. So this is how they are living in a beneficial, mutual beneficial process. Now these amino acids, after it is being stored in the leguminous plant, the function doesn't end here. When this plant dies, what happens? These amino acids or the proteins, these nitrates, these are returned to the soil as nitrates. Okay, these are returned to the soil as nitrates when they die. These nitrates releases nitrogen, which is acting as a fertilizer, to the next generation of crops. So see, this nitrogen which was absorbed from the atmosphere returning to the soil, and again it is consumed by the plants, and again this cycle is going on. So this is how nitrogen crop rotation is being done to make the soil very rich, and it's also this leguminous plants, they also serve as a very good green manure for the crop cultivation, for the next crop cultivation. So in this way, it is making the soil fertile and also helping for this recycle of this nitrogen in the atmosphere. So that is why rhizobium, this bacteria, is so important and a hero of this symbiosis example, right? Next, as we have coming to the second heading, that is the parasites. Parasites are very selfish in nature. They will only, what they will do, they will only take nutrition from its host, and in return they will do nothing. They will do just nothing. So the organism on which it thrives on, that is called what? Host. And the parasites lives on the host. It derives its nutrition, and whatever it requires for its survival, it will take from its host. In return, what it will do? It will weaken the host because it is not giving anything. It is adding on this host, so it is not giving anything. So the host in turn, what happens? It becomes weak. Ultimately, it may die. So these parasites, it can live in or on the organisms. So various types of examples we will see under this parasite, like a cuscuta is one example. Cuscuta plants living in another plants, living in other green plants. Another example we can give in human beings, what? All the roundworms and tapeworms that we have, eating lot of sweets. We are advised, no, won't eat so much sweets. So just live in the human intestine. And another example also, like ticks, mites. These are also living in the pets we see in our home, that is cats, dogs, even in human beings also. These parasites are seen. These are very common examples which I have given. There are lots and lots of parasites which live in nature. So these are few examples which I have given, which you can come across in everyday life. Coming to the third, predation. Predation, the name very is suggesting that predators means larger animals, which are stronger. Mainly, it is stronger. So they are thriving on weaker animals for food. For example, what? Tiger thriving on deer. So deer, cow, these are weaker animals for the larger carnivores like tiger, lions, so on and so forth. So this is the predation. So this is how the food relations or different organisms, they are interlinked in the nature. Now, I would appreciate if all of you, or if you have any detailed queries, or if you have any detailed experience, if you want to know, I have shared my Telegram link down below. Please do come here, and you can open up with your questions. You can open up with your questions, and any queries if you are having here, you can comment down below also and have a interaction session. So this much I'll be explaining to you for today's lesson. Next class again we will be discussing about the abiotic components and about the forest ecosystem, and the most important part, that is the question answers, probable question answers that which will cover the whole ecosystem. In the meantime, if you have any queries, any questions, any doubts anywhere, please do comment below. Come to my Telegram, which is the link given below, and we will have a detailed explanation. I hope till this much I made it very clear and simple. Still, if you have any doubts, then please do come in my Telegram, the link given below, or you can comment below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe this video, because your likes, your comment and your sharing will make this video more interesting in the coming classes. Thank you. Stay well.